Okay, so we are now ready to identify whether the different vote positions represent support, opposition for the bill. And what we're going to do here is we're going to go back to our macro level sheet. This is the one that you had from last time that has your Congress, your session, your date, your roll call, your adjusted roll call, the type, the purpose, the statement purpose for the vote, and then ayes and nays. And what I'm going to do is I'm just simply going to put two different additional columns out here. So I'm going to put the sponsor column out here, and then I'm going to put an invert column right here. And once I have those in there, I'm going to save this. And so I'll file save as, I'll put it on my desktop, and I'll call it pols3320p3-macro example. So I'm going to save that, and it's out there. And now I just need to code these two different positions. So I've got a sponsor and an invert. So the first thing I have to do is I have to learn who my sponsor is for my public law. And we sort of already know this, but we're going to go back and make sure that we know exactly where it is. Okay, so this is the website that we used earlier to grab our population of votes, and so I'm going to go to my original law. So I'm 107155 is mine, and here we go. Finally came through. So if I go down here and find 155, that should be my Bipartisan Campaign Reform Act of 2002. Okay, so I'm going to go to the summary tab of this one, and it's going to, at the very top, it's going to tell me Chris Shays, a Republican out of Connecticut, is going to be the primary sponsor, but I may be interested in the co-sponsors as well, and so I'm going to say is the other person in this one is Chris Shays, and the other person is Marty Meehan, and so Martin Meehan, Democrat, Massachusetts. So those are my co-sponsors. So I'll use Chris Shays as my primary sponsor, but I'm always going to check Marty Meehan as well. Let me go and take a look at the votes now. And so I'll go back and I'll move to the summary. I'll look at the roll call votes. I'm going to get rid of the Senate votes, and I'm only going to look at the House roll call votes. And so I'm going to change these. I'm going to go from oldest to newest, so that matches our database. So I've got my various votes that are going to make up my public law, ending in the passage vote there. So I'm just simply going to start with this one, and I'm going to go to roll call number 19. And I'm going to pull this up, and I'm going to look in this one, and I'm going to look for Chris Shays. So I've got ayes 179, 249 nays. So I'm going to look in here, and I don't have Chris Shays up here. But in terms of nays, I've got Chris Shays. Maybe, yep, I got Chris Shays here. And let me go look over here and see if I've got Marty Meehan. Martin Meehan. Yeah, right here. So I've got Marty Meehan there, and I got Chris Shays here. And so on this one, both the sponsors to the bill voted no. So I'm going to go to my roll call vote. I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to say they voted nay. And so if they voted nay, I'm going to invert yes, is what I'm going to say. And I don't need a capital Y there, so I'll just do yes. Okay. Now, I'm going to do one more, and then I'll go through and I'll code all the rest of these. And let's go back to our original kind of deal. That was House Amendment. That was roll call number 19. Let's take a look at roll call number 20. So roll call number 2053-377. So let's look. Shays is not in that one, and neither is Meehan. Let's go down and look at the no's. So if I look down here, I've got Chris Shays. And if I look over here for Marty Meehan, I've got Marty Meehan. So I've got both of those people voting no against this one. So let me go and say they voted nay. And I need to invert this vote. So I'm going to pause here, and I'll code the rest of these, and then I'll come back and we'll talk about what we do. Okay, so I've gone through and I've coded the sponsor positions, and basically this tells you a lot about how the legislative process works. So this is the bipartisan campaign finance reform, and it's held in the House. And so this was considered under an open rule, meaning that it was going to face a whole number of amendments that were basically designed to be poison pills. And so if you follow the sponsors' votes on this, almost all of them are against these amendments because they're amendments designed to make the entire law unpalatable at some level and to break up the supportive caucus of it. And so here we're going to have nay, nay, an aye vote for this particular amendment, which seems to be somewhat friendly. And then a series of nay votes. There's one in which the two sponsors split, and it was about these funding standards, right? They increased the contributions to 1,000 and 2,000. And so Chris Shays voted aye on this, and Meehan voted nay on this with all the Democrats. And so I voted that as an aye. That was sort of a pseudo-friendly amendment, and so we'll code the primary sponsor on that as A. The rest of these were all poison pills, nay, 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 and then obviously final passage. Both of the sponsors supported it, and so in this case, we've got a lot of individual vote positions to invert. So we need to invert all of them except for two amendments and the final passage. And so we're ready to kind of look at how that process goes at this moment. Save this and then print it out for yourself so that you'll have it whenever we go to the next step in SPSS. Okay, good.